I write about things that anger me. And so I was angry about the Me Too movement and the way that sort of died in India. Very quickly, Bollywood closed ranks, and it was the women who came forward who were persecuted. And I wanted to talk about that. I wanted to do it in a crime novel.
Huge fan, grew up watching James Bond, Roger Moore in particular. My dad and I both loved it. My mum not so much, because every time Roger Moore decided to get amorous on screen, she'd make me change the channel for fear of corrupting my teenage brain.
Hi everyone, this is Silas Ram, AsianCultureVulture.com. We're at the British Library here for JLF London. It's the last day. It's been running since Friday, now Sunday. We caught up with prime authors Vaseem Khan and Abir Mukherjee. Let's go and meet them now.
Hi, I'm Abir Mukherjee. I am the author of the Wyndham and Banerjee novels set in colonial era India and some standalone thrillers. A newer one is called Pinnacle, and that's coming out soon.
And my name is Vaseem Khan, and I write a series called the Malabar House novels set in 1950s India, crime novels. And I also write a new series which is set in the James Bond universe.
Pinnacle is about the death, the murder of Bollywood superstar Sweetie Sahota. Sweetie is married to fading American actor George Abercrombie. His career is going downwards, hers is going up. So they move to Mumbai and they're staying in the most glamorous building in town, the Pinnacle. And then Sweetie is murdered and George is the prime suspect. And suddenly 1.4 billion Indians want to tear him limb from limb. But is he guilty? And where's his servant Amit gone? And where is Sweetie's PA Gemma? Read the book to find out.
Quantum of Menace is the first in a crime series featuring Q from the James Bond universe. Q is booted out of MI6, doesn't know what to do with himself. He's a man of science, he's been there for 3 decades. He receives a cryptic note from his childhood friend Peter Napier, a quantum computer scientist who has died under mysterious circumstances, and that draws Q back to his small hometown just outside of London to reinvestigate the murder. So who killed Peter Napier, if anybody? Again, you'd have to read the book to find out.
And it's a brilliant book.
As is Pinnacle.
Well, it's just India's maximum city, isn't it? It's got everything. It's got commerce, it's got glamour, it's got Ritz. It's all happening there, and it's a microcosm for modern India. And this book is, in some ways, a satire on modern India. It's a satire on rich India and Bollywood and the problems of Bollywood. So there was only one place to set it.
Yeah, I was called into the offices of the Ian Fleming family's publication division, and of course I thought, yeah, my time has come. Perhaps they've realized they need a brown bond, but it wasn't that, of course. They wanted a series of crime novels, mystery novels, not spy novels, that appeals to the sort of people who read Mick Herron's Slow Horses and Richard Osman's Thursday Murder Club, something in between. So that's what Quantum of Menace tries to do, a crime novel where Q plays amateur detective in a small English town.
Well, all of my books are political in some way, and I write about things that anger me. The inspiration I have to write 100,000 words is always anger. If I'm going to write about something, it has to matter. And so I was angry about the Me Too movement and the way that sort of died in India. It started at the same time as it happened in the West, but very quickly Bollywood closed ranks, and it was the women who came forward who were persecuted. And I wanted to talk about that. I wanted to do it in a crime novel.
Huge fan, grew up watching James Bond, Roger Moore in particular. My dad and I both loved it. My mum not so much, because every time Roger Moore decided to get amorous on screen, she'd make me change the channel for fear of corrupting my teenage brain. But this book is really about, it's a state of the nation novel, tells us about England as England is today, because these small towns that Q is now going to investigate are being besieged by lots of different things, and I try and tackle those, as well as hopefully an entertaining murder mystery.
We both share sort of semi-similar backgrounds. I grew up in the west of Scotland. Vaseem grew up in London, but we were both at the LSE at roughly the same time. We never met. Yeah. And then Vaseem, you went out to India to work for 10 years, right?
I did indeed. Yeah.
And in my career, I spent a lot of time in India. I was in mergers and acquisitions. We never met. We lived in Mumbai for a while, never met. Yeah. And then we both had our first novels published in the same year, and we lived within a mile of each other in London. Yeah. And that's how we met.
Yeah, and I ended up being invited to his mum's house to have a
My mum
meal.
prefers him.
She does. I can't tell you why.
She's getting old.
And you both run a podcast?
We do.
Podcast. It's called Murder Junction, and on it we've been going for about 5 years. We started as a bit of fun, and it's just grown.
It's not fun anymore.
We interview the world's most famous and interesting crime writers and mystery writers and thriller writers. So anybody you can think of.
We've had everybody from Jeffrey Archer to
Lee Child, Val McDermid,
everyone.
Anyone you can think of.
Yeah. When I was growing up, tart noir, you know, the crime novel of Scotland, and the crime genre of Scotland was used as a tool to explore social issues. And so when I came to write, I'm talking about social issues and politics, the crime genre seemed the right thing for me.
Well, anywhere you go in the UK and increasingly all over the world, you will find the most urbane people. You can have a tea party full of wonderful older women, and yet they love murder.
You and your old women. What's going on about your old women, aren't you?
They're the ones who buy our books.
Yeah, fair point. We love the old women.
When we were first published, there was almost no one else who had any commercial success in a genre such as crime fiction. You know, if you wrote massive 500-page literary tomes about the Raj or your immigrant experience, great, you could find a publisher. Now, at least in these commercial genres, which sell a lot more copies, I should say, around the world.
You should see his lifestyle. He lives in Malibu half the year.
If only.
On your money.
So I think that's definitely the positive, that over the last 10 years, the publishing industry and festivals like this have embraced the fact that there are Asian crime writers, and we are writing pretty good books.
And we're writing Asian stories, right? What needs to change? The problem is not enough British Asians read. Or if we read self-help books or books that help us in our careers. We're not reading fiction. What that means is that publishers won't publish more books by people who look like us. There is a portion of the British public who will not buy a book by somebody with an Asian name, right? So we're at a disadvantage. So if you go into your Tesco, you won't find, whether you live in Birmingham or London or the Outer Hebrides, you won't find a writer who has an Asian name, right? Because not enough British Asians are reading. We need...
Actually, my latest book is in Tesco's.
Apart from Vaseem's latest one, no one else has a book.
But the point Abir is trying to make is, if you really want to promote British Asians as writers of genre fiction like crime fiction, buy our books.
Seriously. Not just ours. I am thinking my next book may come out under a white pseudonym for that. Well, for several reasons, but that is one of them. I
think we're both quite bloody-minded, and because we're proud of our heritage, and we want to promote our heritage, we wanted our names on there just to prove that there is a reading audience out there for crime fiction written by and we do talks we do talks all around the country.
We're 7-8% of the population. We need to be selling to that 7-8% as well as white people.
So I have the second Q novel coming out in October, available for pre-order now. It's called The Man with the Golden Compass. Q has done such a good job in Quantum of Menace, the first book, that he's hired as a civilian consultant by his local police force in this small town, and he has to look at the murder of a tech millionaire who nobody likes for obvious reasons. He's been gruesomely killed, and next to his body, the police discover a round object coated in gold and inscribed with runes. So it's a mash of history plus modern tech, and Q is on his way as amateur detective again.
So I've told you about my new book, The Pinnacle, which is coming out in the middle of June this year, June 18th. But I want to talk to you about the future and more writers that are coming through. People you should be reading, people like Imran Mahmood, who's a phenomenal writer, Hia Abdullah, Amit Dand, Ajay Chowdhury, Simon Meir. There are so many brilliant British Asian writers out there. Please do pick up their books, because you know what? Every time one is published and succeeds, it opens the door for another British Asian writer.